Hey, this is MoxFox, and today we're going to talk about gear repair in the field. Now, this is a kit that I put together now that I've actually finished the review on the KS2 Elite that I'm going to be using for the rest of the year. What prompted this video is, one, the Exotac rip spool, and two, the amount of videos that I have seen that say you don't need a repair kit in the field and you don't, or they carry way too much. Now, I believe that it's always great to actually have one of these on you. You don't necessarily need to have all of this stuff, and if there are other things that you want, there are, you can change them out for what you need. Some of the repair kits that I've seen go a little bit too far. There's way too much in there, and I don't believe you actually need all that much. Because if your gear gets that bad, one, you're not maintaining it at home, and two, this isn't a bug out repair kit. This is something that I'm going on a camping trip with. I'm going out and doing maybe a day hike or two, I'm not going to be out there for that long. So if my gear gets so bad that I need a 40 or 50 piece set to repair it, then I either, like I said, haven't done my job maintaining my gear, or I'm going to cut that trip short, because honestly it won't be a good time either way. Now, let's get into the kit a little bit. So it's a simple case. First of all, big glider, great for sealing or cutting thread and dealing with some stuff, and always having another big glider is great. I do have some safety pins here. Not necessary, but they are handy to have, and they're small, they're light, they're easy to fit in here. Now, the KS2 Elite, like I said, is in here. That's going to be my primary cutting tool. I like to have everything all together. So even though I will have another knife on me, this one will have a knife, it will have some scissors, it will have an awl. And the other nice thing about this is it also has the, included right here, the bit kit for repairing my handles, like if they come loose while I'm actually using them in the woods. It's not something I want to cut my trip short for just because I have a loose handle on my knife, but it is irritating. So it's just some small things. Now the other thing is I have a bobbin in here with just some, this is actually just fishing line. You can put whatever you want thread-wise on here, which I'll get into in a little bit. But these things are small, lightweight, and they take up like no space whatsoever. So having this plus a needle in here, great for repairing your gear. Now, let's get on to the main part of this kit. This is actually a 3D printed spool, which I will link to down in the description. There's a couple of different versions. There's this one, which is the bigger one, and then they have also the original, which is the smaller one. And I have wrapped it with Gorilla Tape, two different types of Gorilla Tape. This is a permanent Gorilla Tape, 2 inches wide. And it is very sticky, it's very hard to get off. This will repair air mattresses, this will repair my cot, this will repair tarps, tents, doesn't matter, this will repair it all. Same with this stuff. I like to have two different types just because this stuff is going to be hard to get off, but it'll stick a lot better. This stuff is just general use. Now, opening up this, or I'll open up the small one first. So opening up the smaller one, on the inside, it is very reminiscent of the Exotac rip spool. This is printed out of PETG, so making it a lot better with heat. On here, I have some Kevlar thread. Now, you don't need Kevlar thread. I just like to have it because I'm going to be repairing some leather goods as well as armor and potentially my tarp and stuff like that when I get out into the field. So I want something a little bit stronger than just normal thread. And on the bottom, if I just tip it out, you have a sail needle. Like I said, this is the small one. I haven't actually put tape on this one yet, but I will be putting it on probably after this video and throwing this in one of my kits. The big one, like I said, this one's a lot bigger, so it holds a lot more thread. And the other nice thing about this one is, and I just dropped one, this one actually holds more than one needle. Why is that good? Well, quite simply, different size things that you're dealing with, you know, it's always good to have a backup, and it doesn't take up much space. This one has 3 different sizes of sail needles. You could put in some straight pins in here as well, but I don't think I actually need that much for repairing gear. Now, this is the bare minimum that I'm actually going to be taking out with me, and like I said, this is not for bug out, this is not for a survival thing, this is literally for camping. And if I'm going out there to enjoy myself and have fun, I'm not going to want to spend, 10 days repairing whatever. If it's that bad that I have to actually need a bigger repair kit than this, then it's going to cut my trip short anyways. It's not something that I want to deal with. Now, if you didn't want to deal with the KS2, you wanted something different, something lighter, something smaller, whatever it may be, if it's a couple of different options, there are simple things you could do. These are a pair of simple scissors that you can find at your local dollar store or even on Amazon. They're very cheap. You combine that with, a simple knife that most of the time you should have on you anyways. And some sail needles. Like I said, these ones, a couple of different sizes. They're fairly inexpensive. And you throw some thread in with this, you're good to go. You don't need much to repair your gear. If you want to add some tape, these are a couple of different options. You could go duct tape. I like Gorilla Tape just because I find that it works better. They have a small roll that you can buy. These are like $5-6, not that expensive. The bigger rolls are a lot more expensive, and a lot of survival instructors and bushcraft instructors recommend carrying a whole roll of this because of how useful it is. I don't need a full roll. It is great, but like I said, if I have to do that much repairing on my gear in one sitting, I've done something wrong, or I have not, or the trip's going to be cut short. Now, like I said, there are other options. One thing you did not see in there is paracord. Paracord is something I'm going to have on me anyways, but I don't count it as a repair tool because repair is usually some smaller stuff. If my tarp breaks or whatever, I'm going to use the ridge lines that are on it anyways. If the wind is bad enough that it's going to break this or whatever it may be, then I probably shouldn't be out there anyways. Another option, like I said, this is Kevlar thread. This is 70-pound braided Kevlar thread. You can get a whole roll of it. It's usually meant for kite sailing. This one about $30 Canadian. Not sure exactly how much US, but like I said, they're not that expensive. You are limited on colors though. This is waxed thread. It's a synthetic thread. It's it burns very easily. So you could use this to repair a lot of your leather goods and stuff like that. It's what I use to actually sew up a bunch of armor and stuff like that. Now, there are different options as well. You could just go with a simple normal thread. This is a huge spool of it, and like I said, color preference, whatever you want. Another option that a lot of people don't actually talk about is nanocord. Now, this is very similar to paracord, but you can fit a lot more of it into a kit than other places. Same properties, you can unspool this, split it apart. This is only about, I think, 100 pounds, 100-pound test on it, or 100 pounds of pull, but I'm not 100% on that one. And all these threads that I'm showing you, you can also even include, if you want to, fishing line. Here's a couple of different ones, small ones, but all of them can fit on something as small as this. This is a bobbin. You can buy a pack of these for dirt cheap and fit quite a lot of thread on here. This is more than enough, my apologies, this is more than enough for any camping trip or hike that you actually need. You don't need to go with a full spool or anything like that. It's just way too much, and it just takes up too much weight in your pack. And that brings me to my last point on all this. We have so many amazing products out there to repair your gear and do stuff like that it's very hard to actually choose exactly what you need. If you want to go more traditional, you can go with more traditional style kit, but this is something that it's very basic to keep on you. And like I said, if you're gonna go out there and repair your gear, if it's bad enough, you're not going to want to stay out there. One thing I never touched on isn't like sort of an all-in-one kit. Another option. This is called a Speedy Stitch. This is amazing for heavy leather goods as well as canvas or anything like that, like very, very thick stuff. The spool for the thread is kept in the handle itself. You unscrew the top, pull out one of the needles. It comes with two. It comes with a curved one as well as a straight one. And you thread it on, and these are very easy to use. It's sort of an all-in-one. You just need your knife to actually cut off the thread afterwards. And this makes very short work of any heavy leather stuff. That being said, you know, check out exactly what you need for what you are planning to do. If you're building a survival kit, if you're building a bug out kit, yes, you will want more than, you know, just this standard small kit. But if you are building for a day hike or a camping trip that's going to be a weekend, a day or two, you don't need too much. You don't need a full set, 40-piece set of repair kit. Something small, light, and you can just fit in your pocket will be good enough. That being said, let me hear your comments down below. I want to hear what kind of repair kits you guys have for your camping trips and your visits out in the woods. This has been MoxFox, and remember, never stop learning.